What's up, guys? I wanted to give you a brief update on Clemson recruiting after today. It was a big-time signing period. Clemson football added a lot of players that we really need to fill out this class after 3 or 4 decommits following Brent Venables leaving for Oklahoma. Clemson lost quite a few prospects, especially on the defensive side of the ball after that. And a lot of high-ranking guys as well. So we really need to have a strong class today, and we actually got that. So I'm fairly impressed with how everything worked out for Dabo Swinney and the team. I'm just going to briefly give you a bit of an overview of who we got. If you want to learn more about this class, more in-depth stuff, Grace Raynor, who writes for The Athletic, has an incredible piece out there right now. So if you have an Athletic subscription, you can definitely go check that out because it's a really in-depth article regarding Clemson's class and what you can look forward to from Clemson in the future. But just to list off some guys we've signed in the past couple of days. 4-star defensive tackle, defensive lineman Caden Story. 4-star linebacker TJ Dudley, who's I think is going to be huge for us considering we lost Balin Spector and James Skalski because of eligibility. We also had 3-star corner Myles Oliver, 3-star safety Kylon Griffin, I believe is how you say his name. 3-star linebacker Kobe McCloud. That is Ray McCloud's younger brother. 3-star defensive lineman Jahiem Lawson, who's related to Shaq Lawson, I believe, and then 3-star wide receiver Cole Turner, who is related to Nolan Turner, who is just departing our program. He was a safety for us for a long time. He's just left because of eligibility. And we also added running back Keith Adams Jr. and apparently 11 walk-ons as well. So we'll take that. Can't complain about that. You know, maybe one of those guys will develop into someone pretty significant for our program. But overall, it's actually a very solid recruiting class. Not as good as the usual, like, superstar teams. For instance, Texas A&M, who's actually been really hot recently in recruiting, is #1 in the nation right now. They have 7 5-star recruits. You know, this is according to 24/7 Sports, which is a huge site for tracking recruiting and stuff like that. Alabama is #2. They actually have 25 commits. Texas A&M at 29 commits. Alabama is #2 with 4 5-stars and 18 4-stars. Georgia's #3. Ohio State's #4. So like I said, the traditional powerhouse is stacking up towards the top of the board. Clemson is down at 11, which is not fantastic, but you look at the schools that are ahead of them. Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Michigan, North Carolina. Mostly pretty good schools. LSU is directly behind them. Kentucky is at 13. Mizzou is at 14, and Miami's at 15. So Clemson is the second highest ranked ACC team in terms of recruiting this year, which will hopefully bode well for us because North Carolina is losing their quarterback in Sam Howell, and our running back that's pretty significant for them, Ty Chandler, and 2 starting offensive linemen. So I'm hoping that Clemson's actually going to take a huge step forward, and North Carolina, while they might have a better recruiting class on paper, isn't going to have as many guys ready to perform immediately in this coming season. And we don't play North Carolina this year anyways, so I'm not so much worried about that. Looking at the recruiting class as a whole, Caden Klubnik, I think that's how I say his last name, or Klubnik, is obviously the gem of the group at quarterback. #1 in the nation at the quarterback position, according to 24/7 Sports as a recruit. The #6 national ranked recruit, which is also huge for us to get him in, especially after DJ Uyunglele had a tough second year. We also had another 5-star recruit, the #29 player in the nation, #7 cornerback. Ooh, that's a tough name to say. Jaden Lucas, I believe is how I say his last name. I apologize for that. I looked that up ahead of time. I should have. We got a number of 4-star recruits as well. Looks like 8 4-star recruits, including the 2 guys we added most recently, Caden Story on the defensive line and TJ Dudley. Caden Story is going to probably be an interior defensive lineman. He's a number 204 recruit in the nation, 27th player at the position for the defensive line, 6'3", 282. I imagine by the time we start seeing significant playing time, it'll be 6'3", closer to 300 pounds. He's not going to get a lot of playing time this year at Clemson, and hopefully he sticks around, but let's be honest, our defensive line is stacked. You know, we got Tyler Davis, we got Brian Brzee. Brzee, formerly 5-star, one of the top recruits in the nation. Tyler Davis, a former 4-star, who is one of the most experienced and best defensive linemen in the ACC. Caden Story is not going to get a lot of run on this team, but I think he'll be a valuable long-term asset, especially because we'll have so many guys who are going to leave for the NFL next year. And then TJ Dudley, The 239th ranked recruit in the nation, 23rd best linebacker. Not bad. You know, we need linebacker help. Like I said, we're losing a bunch of guys to the NFL. Our linebacker depth is good, but not fantastic. So it's important to add someone like TJ Dudley. He's 6'1", 220 pounds. I'm interested to see how well he moves at that size, but that's a pretty good get for us. And looking through the rest of this list, Myles Oliver, a 3-star cornerback, 781st ranked recruit in the nation. So there is a bit of a drop-off there after TJ Dudley. We kind of fall down. We start talking about guys who are in the 500s, 700s, or not ranked at all. But overall, you know, getting someone like Myles Oliver is a little bit on the smaller side right now. 6 foot, 170 pounds, 74th ranked corner at the position. Not awful, but Clemson has a good history of developing guys like this into very good prospects for the NFL. And if you can do that with guys like Mario Goodrich or Andrew Booth Jr., there's no reason why you can't think you get Myles Oliver into playing shape and get him in a position where he can contribute along this defense. Kylon Griffin, who I mentioned as well, a safety, 6'1", 180 pounds, not ranked nationally, 83rd safety at the position, a 3-star recruit. Again, 3-star recruits, you know, these are guys who sometimes don't get ranked in these national spotlights because there are so many 3-star guys, but they make up the meat of a lot of rosters throughout the country. So it's important to get your 3-star guys in and to develop them. Clemson's done a pretty good job of that in the past, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and hopefully that's going to continue this year. But overall, like I said, the number 11th ranked recruiting class in the nation, 2 5-stars, 8 4-stars, 8 3-stars. It's not bad. I mean, it's not fantastic, don't get me wrong. It's by no means great. We would obviously like to be much closer to that traditional powerhouse level with Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. Those are the guys we have to be aiming for. And we are not on that level this year in terms of recruiting. But given that we lost someone like Brent Venables, and we lost our offensive coordinator, Tony Elliott, considering all that, the fact that we are still top 12 in the nation, and we have 20 commits after having a bunch of guys decommit, it's still fairly impressive to me. And overall, I am much happier, much more confident going into the season now about the long-term future of this program than I was a couple of months ago.